set of family to another family, one kind of villain to another kind of villain.
When did you start watching Days of Our Lives, Dawn?
This is Pam. I started watching...
Pam, not,
that's
yeah,
okay.
not Dawn, Pam.
I started watching when Marlena was the devil person.
Aha. When she was lifting up in the air and...
Yeah, and that was creepy to me because I've always had a fright from watching The Exorcist. And to this day, I can't sleep in the dark. I always have to have the light on or the TV on or something.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that something?
Yes.
It affected me that much. Well, I was young then, and to watch that, and it just stayed with me. And so when I would see Marlena's scene coming up, I would okay, I'm going to close my eyes now. But I would kind of peek.
Evidently, yes. Well, evidently, it kept on peeking.
Yeah.
That was a special time. What was what was going on then that was so
I'll
different?
tell you what was going on. The reason that we suddenly became a paranormal show, that suddenly the devil was a cast member, was because we were in competition with a real life event that had
was O.J.
shaken
Simpson?
the country. O.J. Simpson's trial was going on, and in order to keep the audience interested. As compared to being only interested in O.J. Simpson and how all that would turn out, the writer went into the world of extreme fantasy, and there you were. I mean, we've also had pod people.
Right, I remember them.
Yeah, and we've had people from outer space on the show. That's kind of fun. Nobody can get a hold of their agent, but. Yeah, I would have to say that the show has really tried everything, though they say that they're basically family-based and it's all about home and family and family and home and family. It's also about violence, sex, and excitement, of course, those things which trigger a fast audience response. And we're always attempting to catch a very young audience, even though that audience may be in school or may be playing with other machines than a television set these days.
Exactly.
That is still the ideal audience for a soap opera. NBC believes is a very young audience. They figure if they catch you when you're young, you'll stay faithful for 30 years.
Well, these days that's kind of hard with kids.
I would say.
When did you start watching?
When did I start watching?
Sabina.
No.
When did you start
Sabina.
watching?
I actually started watching in 1990, and the big storyline that I remember was Carly Buried Alive by Vivian.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
So I've been watching even longer.
I remember that very well myself. That was something.
Well, again, that was in the time of the same writer that gave you Marlena Possessed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But I love Vivian. Evil or not, she was a good actress.
Oh, she was a vivid character, and it was wonderful, the stuff that she pulled.
Yep, and she would get away with it time and time again, just like
Right.
Stefano.
Yeah.
Just like Stefano.
Yep.
How many times has Stefano died so far?
Oh, gosh, I have no idea.
Oh, I think after number 9 I lost track.
Oh, I think it's maybe 6. I think.
Well, I always hear that saying, he rises from the ashes, or the phoenix rises from the ashes. And
that's it.
He definitely fits that title.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, you were introduced on Days as a convict who was a lounge singer.
That's true.
Storyline there for you. It was perfect.
Well, yes, absolutely. My character was scheduled to be on for 7 months. And he was supposed to have a fling with Sister Marie, the Horton child who was a nun. And he was supposed to really be a bad guy and get her defrocked and then leave the show. And Julie was scheduled to do a different story entirely. It was wonderful. Bill Bell was writing the show at that time. He was the head writer, and he had a practice where he would put 2 characters together just for fun. And one day he put Julie and Doug together, and we weren't supposed to we weren't supposed to have storylines together at all. And he saw something go between Susan and me, or Doug and Julie, and he sat up and said, wow, I'm going to write some more scenes for them. And he ended up throwing out my whole story about Marie, and whatever story he had plotted for Julie, he just threw it out, and that's when he started the Doug and Julie story. And Doug had a black hat and was a bad guy for a while, but I would say maybe within 6 months he forgot that and put on a white hat, and he became a good guy. And I'm happy about that, because I've been on the show a lot longer than this for 7 months that he had planned.
Right. We're very grateful for that.
And Julie, though you don't know her then, was a troubled teen originally, and then a troubled young woman who always caused trouble and drew it to her, caused a lot of it, and was an exciting character because of that. Then Julie got to be middle-aged. When Hope grew up, suddenly Julie was middle-aged, and Hope had the same kind of storyline. She was involved with the wrong guy, or making the wrong choices, or always the center of a lot of excitement. Then Hope became a police officer, and once she was heavily armed, her character changed. Then you have Sammy, same thing. A young girl who doesn't know her place in the world and causes a lot of trouble. However, Sammy has continued way past youth into being the vortex of trouble on the show. And it's a type that, depending on your age and depending on your character background on the show, most young women get to play it on Days of Our Lives for a while. And then they straighten up and fly right and become grandmothers.
Yeah, Nicole is probably like that right
and
now.
And Nicole also.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can exceed Sammy for willful behavior, though.
Yeah. Sammy's always got her finger in somebody's pie, that's for
yes,
sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nicole, we actually spoke with Ari, what day is today? Today's Thursday, right? We spoke with her Tuesday on the show.
Oh, great.
And, she was wonderful to talk with, and we spoke about her storylines with her losing the baby and how hard that was. And I would imagine that you've been through a few storylines that were hard for yourselves.
Oh, yes. Julia's lost a baby. Julia's been raped. Julie's face has been burned up. Julia's gone down in a ship sinking at sea. Julie's been on a desert island.
And poor Bill got killed.
And
yes.
Bill got stabbed in the throat and yet resurrected.
Right.
Can you explain that to us? Because we never quite understood it.
I don't know how it happened. It was a good writing, I guess.
Yes,
No.
I guess.
Bring him back.
Doug originally was not supposed to sing. Then they did a double take because I had a background, as Susan said, in musicals, had done a lot of singing, and they decided to try some music on the show, and it was a fabulous idea, because for years, this is before either of you watched, we had music, a lot of music on the show, a lot of songs.
A lot of singers on the show. Mm-hmm. Bill was the first person to sing in soap opera. And he could write his own arrangements, and it wasn't Happy Birthday. He did all kinds of music, all kinds of songs. And many shows were built around the nightclub, the performances, people's reaction to the songs, how they would, elaborate on the story like a good love song in a big movie. It was a wonderful time, but it was a time when you could pay a copyright bill for a song that was like $200 or $300. Mm-hmm, well, those days are over.
Right.
Now, to get the same song that you got for $200 or $300 will cost up to $20,000.
Oh my gosh!
And that is the reason that we don't have so many songs on the show.
Can't do it now. Just can't do it. And we used to do several songs, maybe a song a day for a couple of years there. We had that much and the writers really did a great job of determining the song or the type of song that we were going to do. They would have a plot, and what one character was thinking. That's what the song would say, and they would. I would sing, or Robert Clary would sing, or
Gloria Loring, or Patty Weaver.
And while we were singing, they would go and do a close-up of that character, because that's exactly what that character was thinking. And it was very effective. It was very moving.
It was very romantic, and the whole setting of a nightclub was romantic for the audience as well.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Yeah, but that was a different time. Now we've got murder and cell phones.
Yeah.
I unfortunately missed all of that. I'm hoping they eventually put it on DVD, because that would be fantastic. And
wouldn't that be great?
Yes, it would be fantastic. Did you sing on the show, Susan, at all?
Only recently. I sang on the show in the last two or 3 years with Bill. We got a new set of writers who were under the impression that I sang with Bill. But in fact, no. In the past, I would sit at the table and cry while Bill would sing, because I couldn't have him, or it was a time when the characters were separated. But the new writers didn't know that, so they let me sing with him, and I loved it.
Yes,
we have sung together in shows on stage.
Yeah, we've done several musicals
and
together.
Bill has starred on Broadway and has a gold record and a huge background in commercial music, and he brought a lot of talent to the show.
Was the number one song the Davy Crockett one?
That was it.
That was it. I'm looking at my gold record as I speak.
Yeah.
Dusting it off.
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
For it too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and from what I read, that you had re-released it like 3 different times in 3 different versions or something?
No, I don't know about that, but there have been many versions of it. No,
Okay.
mine was cut, and it was an immediate success. It was declared the best record of the year of 1955.
This was before there were Grammy Awards, or he would have had one for sure.
Right.
Oh, definitely.
Did you see the Grammys the other night?
I watched
did.
part of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I don't even remember what I was doing that day, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, we got to see the first hour of it. It's a nice show.
It is. We interviewed Louise Goffin, who is Carole King's daughter. She said that her mom was in Australia on tour, but that she was going to get a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Grammys.
Well, she should.
Yeah.
She's a talented lady.
Definitely. I've loved her music since as far back as I can remember.
Sure.
Yeah, we did some of her songs.
Yeah, we all bought it. We all loved it.
Yeah. Well, I do have one of Bill's songs uploaded to my player here. Would you mind if I played it for the listeners?
I'd love to.
Okay, so you'll have to hang on a second while the song plays. And I
Okay.
uploaded Bella Notte because I do like Italian music, and some of
All
it
right.
is Italian. And plus it's, beautiful night, and it's Valentine's, so I thought it would go. So hold on for a moment, and I'm going to go ahead and play that.
All right. Haven't heard this for a while.
This is the night, it's a beautiful night, and we call it Bella Notte. Look at the skies, they have stars in their eyes on this lovely Bella Notte. So take the love of your loved one, you need it about this time to keep from falling like a star when you make that dizzy climb. For this is the night, and the heavens are right on this lovely Bella notte